An Excel spreadsheet is the starting point of almost every journey to master modern OT infrastructures. Control engineers attempt to store their knowledge about OT systems in an Excel table so that they and their co-workers understand the most important digital characteristics of their environment. Half a year later, they realize that they just don't manage to keep up with maintaining the sparse data in that spreadsheet. As a result, the spreadsheet becomes an obsolete imagination of system architecture. It represents a failing memory of the past, long overtaken by ad hoc configuration changes and a flood of new digital OT devices dropping on the plant floor. That's the situation I found myself in for about 20 years when doing OT security assessments. Over and over again, no matter which industry the client was in or how big their corporation was. As a result, we had to spend the better part of an assessment project trying to figure out the client's architecture on our own in time-consuming interviews and walk-down inspections. This problem transcends OT security. It directly affects engineering and maintenance as well. I knew that there had to be a better way to map OT system architecture and networks. I knew that the solution was certainly not a bigger spreadsheet, updated more frequently by overworked engineers or by external service providers. The only solution is automatic asset discovery. This is what we're doing in our OT-based OT asset management system. There are basically two ways how to obtain OT device identity and configuration details automatically, but there is only one way to do it right. There is active probing and then there is passive scanning. Active is often confused with network scanning as implemented in IT tools such as Nmap and Nessus. In reality, it works totally different for OT, and I'll explain how in a minute. Passive scanning, on the other hand, is used by the bulk of products in the ICS detection category, whose main focus is to detect potential malicious packets in real-time network traffic as drawn from span ports, and collect configuration data on the side. To put it simple, active probing is the method of choice because it yields better results at much lower cost. The decision is not even close. If you have to inventory hundreds or thousands of networks located all over the place, the idea to stuff every subnet with the required detection hardware is a showstopper. Active probing, on the other hand, can run on existing hardware because it has much lower resource requirements, as no real-time processing is needed. Active probing software can be deployed on existing hardware. And then, active probing yields so much more details on asset configuration than passive sniffing. As an example, with active probing we can map network topology, get all installed software packets and security patches from Windows PCs, obtain device serial numbers, and much more. The result is what we call a deep asset inventory that holds much more device details than ever before. It's no wonder why the big automation vendors use active discovery for their software products. Anytime you launch Rockwell RS Links or Siemens TIA portal, you don't need to sniff data from the span port. The software actively reaches out to all devices on the network and solicits configuration details using legitimate protocol functions. In OT-based we do the same thing, only for a wider range of products and device types, including Windows PCs and network topology. The alleged downsides of active probing that you may have heard about are more fiction than anything else. The network scanning that is done by IT software such as Nmap and Nessus is totally different because it pokes around in hundreds or thousands of TCP and UDP ports. Active probing, on the other hand, uses legitimate functions of industrial protocols. For example, consider the theory that active probing would produce so much network traffic that it would bog down your bandwidth and cause problems for real-time communication. That's pure fiction. OT-based asset discovery sits idle most of the time. Every 24 hours it wakes up and performs an active probe into the networks that it is monitoring, using specific queries to solicit configuration data. If this very limited traffic is viewed as a problem, which we have never seen so far, you can always throttle the packets generated by the software. OT-based asset discovery is agentless. You don't need to install it on all PCs in a given subnet. Just one computer is sufficient. If that computer is attached to multiple networks, as it often is the case for engineering stations, one asset discovery node can discover all those subnets. You can also remotely discover other networks via routing if firewall settings allow. The number of asset discovery nodes required ultimately depends on your network architecture. If you have implemented tight network segregation and can't route into process networks, the solution is to deploy asset discovery nodes within those subnets and allow them to transmit discovery results outbound. Because all communication between asset discovery and asset center is file-based, it is also easy to traverse DMZs using the mechanisms and tools that you already have in place for upstream file transfer. What you see here is the configuration client for asset discovery. Even though it does show device details, you will only use this information to verify that the software is configured properly. A manually triggered network probe is only done for testing purposes. Results are displayed in real time as they arrive. Navigate through the results and explore the depth of your process networks, including legacy field buses. In production use, all probing is done automatically at a scheduled time that you can configure. This way, OT-based ensures that you automatically get notified about configuration change with no user intervention. After everything is set up properly, you will examine asset details only in OT-based Asset Center, which can run in the cloud or on-premise. The best way to learn about OT-based asset discovery is to check out the real thing. You can download an evaluation version from our website. Just go to langner.com, point to Download, and click on OT-based asset discovery evaluation. In the form at the bottom of the page, enter your contact information and click Request Download. You will then receive the download link by email. If you like what you see in OT-based asset discovery, you can check out OT-based Asset Center by subscribing into OT-based Cloud, our SaaS product, to which you can upload discovery results. From there, you also have numerous options for data export, including the ominous Excel spreadsheet. However, the Excel files that OT-based generates for you are a far cry from those that you used to create manually. So that is, in a nutshell, the journey we would like to take you on. From incomplete and outdated Excel files that someone created manually months or years ago to a fully integrated OT asset management system with automatic discovery. Please check it out for yourself and download the OT-based asset discovery evaluation version today.